Hi, my name is Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation. This topic is a very important topic. I'm going to really get into a lot of information that you won't get anywhere else. That's what we do at the Marriage Foundation. This topic is what to do when your husband doesn't care about your feelings. This is a very deep topic, and there's two sides to this. One is what he's doing and not doing, but the other, which, believe it or not, is much more important, is what you're doing and what you're not doing. So we need to have a little bit more understanding of how our mind works. And also I want to give you information about the place of the soul in your marriage, because you married your soulmate. So let's go to who you actually are. You actually are a soul. You have a body, but you're not the body. You have a mind, but you're not the mind. Feelings can be broken into two parts. There are superficial, false feelings. We call those emotions. Of course, there's physical feelings too, but we're not talking about that. Now, every psychologist will argue with me and say these emotions are important. Well, they're not really that important. And I discuss this at great length in the courses that we have for both men and women, so that people have a greater understanding of what emotional feelings are. The world has gone down this fake path of pseudo feelings, fake feelings. They're called emotions. And what they're trying to mimic, and this is of the mind. So think of it this way. You're a soul, light, joy, ever new joy. That's what you are. You're the soul. God created you in his image. God's image is love, light, joy. That's who you actually are. And then we have a mind. He created the mind, but it's sort of, think of it as God's little test of our love for him, and our test of whether we can really learn to love and feel our true selves, which is the soul. And then the mind, which is there to calculate things, to screen out danger, because in a physical body there's lots of danger. There's also psychological danger. But when you rise above the mind, so to speak, those psychological dangers don't come into play. But the mind doesn't know that. And so it calls attention to you and says, your husband doesn't care about your feelings. He doesn't express feelings himself. He's cut off from me. He's blocked off from me. But that's not true. The truth is that you married your soulmate. Your soul and his soul are the plane upon which you want to relate to each other, because it's all about love. Love, but not emotional love, which is pseudo love, fake love, but the true love. Remember that feeling that you have when your heart is bursting open. There's nothing you could do. And quickly, your mind will start distracting you, bringing you to thoughts about things that are relevant. But that's the treasure of marriage, is that feeling that we can only feel in the world, in creation, with our soulmate. Otherwise, we can only feel that feeling with God. But most of us are way too busy in our lives to do that. So he's given us this beautiful entity called marriage, within which we can express that which is from our heart. But when you tell your husband something like, oh man, what a day I've had, and you know, it really wore me down, and I feel da-da-da, and I feel da-da-da, and I feel feelings, and he kind of ignores it. Because it's not, and he doesn't do it consciously, but he wants you, because you're the treasure in his life, for that true love. He won't ignore that feeling when, for instance, You insert it into your lovemaking. You see, but many of us are lost in this realm. We've gotten into sex as a game, as entertainment, as something we can perfect, something we can improve upon. But it's not meant for that for us human beings. Animals, it is meant for procreation exclusively. Human beings are special. So we have the ability to express our heart's love, our true love, as we make love. Rather than getting into it as an entertainment, we should get into it where we infuse our love, and that's where we connect our feeling. Another time when we connect our feeling is just when we feel it. And we express that feeling with gratitude, with sincerity of love, with support. And that's a different feeling. That can't be ignored because it's coming from the heart. And then the filters fall away. So what you can do about this is you could learn to open your heart. You could learn, practice, not paying so much attention to your own feelings. Honestly, in the great realm of who we are as human beings, they're of no consequence whatsoever, other than they act as a distraction from our true heart feelings. Do you see? We don't know this distinction only because we have not been taught. But if you think about this now, you'll see that it's very real. So first think of it sort of schematically. Here I am, I'm the soul. Here is my mind. Here is my body. I am this. I should not identify with these two, but use those two in order to keep coming back to the love. And in our physical form, the love is truly felt mostly in the heart. So if you're having feelings and they're in the mind, it's a great way to test. Those are not the true feeling, which is of the heart, you see. And so we need to change our expectation of our husband and of ourselves, and we need to lean more into giving our love. And once you apply an expectation to it, you're doing it from the mind. So you give the love without any expectations, hence the term unconditional love. And as you give it and give it and give it, there's something magical that occurs. You start to feel the real love, the real thing. Why? We don't produce love. Yes, we give love, but we don't produce it. Love can only come from the original love, God, and it flows through us. It's not our love. And so when we learn to love unconditionally, think of it as opening gates in your heart so the love flows towards your husband. Then you'll feel love. Then you'll know the real feeling of love, which is the only one that matters, because it's so powerful, it's so overwhelming, that the little feelings of, oh, I feel terrible, I feel high, I feel elated, I feel low, they don't matter. It's an amazing gift, marriage, an amazing gift, within which we can open our hearts without fear. You see, in the world, you can't do that. You can't love everyone who walks down the street. You can't love people at work because you never know if they're going to take advantage of you later for doing so. But your husband, you can love unconditionally. And that's where you go. That's where you go. So I know this is probably a very interesting answer to your question, but it's the right answer. And if you go, well, that doesn't help me. I want to know what I could do about him not addressing my feelings. I'm telling you that that's the wrong direction to go in if what you want are the three great gifts of marriage: happiness, love, and harmony. So We do something very differently at the Marriage Foundation, because when I began the Marriage Foundation, it was the result of my becoming a marriage counselor quite inadvertently. I don't have a background in Western psychology. I was a divorce mediator in 2001, and a couple asked me to help save their marriage. And I said, okay, but when I asked my psychologist friends, what do I do? What did I commit to? They said, oh, no, you can handle it. It's mostly about communication. I discovered, no, it's mostly about love. It's not mostly about love. It's 99.9% about love. Even our communication should be about love, always love. Even our interactions, love, love, love. Happiness, happiness, happiness. So forget what you thought you knew about your feelings. Forget what you thought you knew about marriage. This is the right way. The Marriage Foundation is the forerunner for this new understanding of marriage. Watch these videos. Subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe now. Also like this video. It'll help us. Leave a comment if you wish. Don't be mean or anything if you disagree with me, but ask so that you can learn more, because this is all about receiving God's greatest gifts: love, happiness, harmony. And marriage is the perfect place for that to happen. I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. I urge you to go to our website, download the 10 greatest do's and don'ts for marriage, dig into what we have, see what we have. You'll be surprised, because we don't have to fix a marriage that's working well, because you understand it. And that's where we're coming from here. I really appreciate you stopping by. God bless you. Thank you, and take care.